Hi, today we are in Rock Harbor in Orleans, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. And we're here the day after Hurricane Lee came through. So it's still a bit windy, but it's a beautiful day. So check out what we're finding beachcombing. First of all, we've seen a few horseshoe crabs. And I understand that the crabs can suffer from the hurricanes the most because they, can get churned up in the waves pretty easy. Now we are on the bay side, so it's a little bit more sheltered, although the winds did come down through the bay, through Cape Cod Bay. So there you have a couple of horseshoe crabs. See why they call them horseshoe crabs? This is in my book. That is the shape of a horseshoe, right? You can see their legs and their tail. And if you ever find a live one and you want to help it back into the water, don't pick it up by the tail. You can hurt it, it can break off. Okay, so horseshoe crabs. Now, because we're out on the bay, there's a lot of sand flats and it's more protected. So you're going to see a lot more clams, right? So this is called the blood arc. And those two were together until I picked them up. They're a bivalve, so they have two matching sides or valves, and they can open and close, right? And so that is a blood arc. This one is huge. Look at that. Really nice size. So they're doing really well out here in the bay. Then we have some jackknife clams, or they're also called Atlantic razor clams. Okay, nice barnacles on those. We're finding more crab carapaces. This looks like a lady crab carapace. And here's a little baby tiny one. They start out very small and they get bigger as they get older. And then there's a crab claw. Up here, this is called green fleece. This is seaweed or marine algae. And you can see we have a lot of slipper shells attached to it. And they attach to each other. And usually the one on the bottom, the biggest one, is a female. Here's some more. And they look like they're on some old oysters. Okay, so they're attached to the oyster. So isn't the green fleece seaweed, and this is to help anchor it into the water. Got an old eastern oyster. This is a big old one, and a younger, smaller one. Here's another jackknife clam. And this is very old, but this is an operculum to a channeled whelk or a knobbed whelk, one of the big whelks. They're a snail, right? So far, I'm talking about a lot of bivalves, except the slipper snails are also univalves. They're snails, okay? They have one shell. Here's a beautiful crab. This looks like a green crab. He looks like he might have perished in the storm, okay, because he feels like he hasn't been here that long. Oh, and here's the jingles. And you know what's cool is they're huge out here. The jingle shells are also bivalves. And often the top shell is the prettiest, and the one underneath is often just white or gray, right? And there's a hole through it. And through that hole, they put these threads called byssus threads, and they attach themselves to each other and to rocks, much like the slipper shells do, so that they are anchored down to something heavier. Here's a little soft shell clam. They're a little bit longer than, say, the quahog. See how round the quahog is? And it's got the beautiful blue. That's also a bivalve. That's a clam. And then we have the ribbed mussels, which love it out here. There's tons of these. And these can be really pretty colors. Also bivalves. I always find trash, and sometimes toys. Several fish bones, fishbone vertebrae. I love those. And then I wasn't finding any moon snails, and then I found some very old tops of them. See that? They've been out here for a long time because it looks like all these holes, probably happened after they were gone or they were dead. And I believe that's from the boring sponge. But if you know differently, please make a comment because I'm happy to learn. Here's some more slipper snails, an old moon snail, more blood arcs, and this looks like a piece of a quahog. And then finally, I just wanted to say, after a storm, what I'm noticing is a lot of the vegetation is being whipped up and pulled out of the sand. And this is sea lavender. It's dried now, the flowers have gone, but I just wanted to show you that. Very typical of what happens after a storm. And not so pretty, but I just wanted to let you see What do you think this is? It's a balloon. And these things, you've heard, balloons blow, so we don't want to let them go, right? We want to be careful because they can create havoc on the beach and out in the ocean. So whenever I'm at the beach, I try to pick up a little trash too, and because I'm always interested in everything that's going on. Anyways, the view here is so pretty. Enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.